Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, how we doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Oh, watch the football team.
Today is the day. The Dallas Cowboys season starts today at Baltimore. As
sure?
we rip off 5 in a row. We keep pace with the Giants and Washington, and all of a sudden, great things are about to happen. This is it.
I could have sworn the season started 4 months ago in September.
It starts today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
With another L.
Yeah, today,
Watch.
I'm pretty sure it's
We got due on it?
December, Skip. Are we?
Maybe.
Do we have due? Maybe later?
Maybe.
Okay, I'd like to get back to that. Actually, I'd like to also go back to October, because back then, Kyrie Irving said that playing with Kevin Durant will mark the first time he feels comfortable with a teammate taking a big clutch shot, seemingly taking a shot at LeBron James. And now LeBron admitted on a podcast that the comment, quote, kind of hurt me a little bit. LeBron also added that during his run with Kyrie in Cleveland, his main goal was to see Irving win MVP. And even though they won a title, he and Kyrie, quote, could never align. There's a lot there. Shannon, why did LeBron make such a big deal of this?
Well, I think the thing is that when any time you play with someone, it kind of stings you a little bit if you have respect for a player. And players, you know, Skip, players value players' comments about themselves more so than, say, media or someone outside of the basketball community. So that's why when players or former players say things about present players, it bothers them, and a lot of times they will respond. And when you play with someone, yes, and people are like, well, that shouldn't bother him. It would bother me if John said one of his most clutch, you know,
John
Elway, my quarterback, Skip, if he said, you know what, if someone else had played after me, man, this is the first time I've had a big play tight end, a guy that I can throw the ball to in tough situations, and I know he can make a catch. Skip,
but he didn't say
no, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to give people an insight how things, when you value someone, you play with someone, and you think they're, you know, I don't think LeBron and Kyrie were ever friends, but you think, okay, we're teammates, we're going for the same common goal, and that's to win a championship. But this is also goes to show you how things get continuously repeated, and people take them as true. Now, Kyrie said this is the first time, but it's not true. LeBron James has more playoff buzzer beaters than any other player in NBA history. That is not conjecture. That is not innuendo. That is not speculation. That is factual. LeBron James, let me repeat this for the people at home.
I'm having trouble with that factual, but I'll get to that in a moment.
LeBron James has more playoff buzzer beaters than any other man that has dribbled a basketball in the NBA or the ABA. Okay, this is what we've done here, Skip. So I'm going to take the final 10 seconds on game tying or go-ahead shots in the final 10 seconds of a playoff game. LeBron James is 9 of 22. That's 41%. The guy that Kyrie spoke so glowingly of, Kevin Durant, is 2 of 13. That's 30%. Kyrie Irving talking about he finally got somebody that can make the same shot that he's made in game time or go-ahead shots in the final 10 seconds of a playoff game. Kyrie Irving has yet to take one and make one. You see how constantly repeating something, repetitions of a lie, does not make it true, no matter how many times you repeat said inaccuracy. Skip Bayless, look, even while they were playing, Skip, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving had 9 game-tying or go-ahead shots in the final minute. LeBron James had 14. So while he's heaping praise on someone that he's never played with, the guy that was sitting next to him was taking and making more big shots than Kyrie Irving. So it stung LeBron to hear that. And Skip, anytime a former teammate, especially if, you know, and Kyrie ain't just any teammate, Skip, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving is not the 11th guy, is not the 8th guy on a roster. Kyrie Irving was the second best player in Cleveland. So yes, it stung LeBron, and I can imagine if someone were to say this, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, I'm trying to think. Some player that played with Tom Brady goes somewhere else is like, man, this is the first time I had a quarterback that can get me the ball in positions, I can make plays. You know, he give me an opportunity to run after the catch. That would bother Tom, especially
but that didn't happen.
Skip, go ahead, Skip.
Well, it just did.
I'm trying to tell people, see, what you want to do is try to say, well, LeBron James is sensitive. I'm telling you, if Stephen A. Smith has said something, if Shannon Sharp wants to say something about Skip Bayless, you won't let on. You can put on this turf persona, but Skip, I know a different side of you.
But
so this notion, Skip.
They didn't. Right? He did say this. Aren't you a little surprised that he's still so stung by this?
Skip.
It's 2 months later and he just unloads.
Skip,
Aren't you a little surprised?
No,
You're a little surprised.
I'm not surprised, Skip. This is Skip. He said this. He was on the podcast. So you would have preferred him to respond immediately? Unfortunately, in October, LeBron James was winning a title while Kyrie Irving had his butt rehabbing. There's the difference between the two. And even though in all the great big shots that he could take and make, he has yet to take and make big shots outside of Cleveland. So let's get this straight here, and then I'm going to let you have it. Before LeBron got back to Cleveland, Kyrie Irving was in the lottery every single year.
He was.
After Kyrie Irving left LeBron James, his teams played better once Kyrie Irving was injured and had moved on. That's fact. Look at what happened with the Brooklyn Nets once Kyrie Irving got hurt. Look at what happened with the Boston Celtics once Kyrie Irving left and was injured.
True.
That's fact.
And fact also that Kyrie made the shot that won LeBron a Game 7 and a championship in a 3-1 comeback against Golden State. Am I right?
So what happened? So let me ask you a question. If LeBron don't hit that shot in Cleveland against Chicago,
well, but this was Game 7 at Oracle.
We might not even get to a Game 7.
Who made it?
We might not get to a Game 7 if he doesn't hit that shot in Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, now it's just okay.
Well, I mean, that's just silliness, but whatever.
Why does it Skip? It was 1-1.
However you want to spin this.
Skip, it was 1-1.
Okay. All right. It is my turn. First of all, my first comment is LeBron needs to get his own podcast because he keeps dropping bombshells on Road Trippin' podcast, right?
He has the shot.
Okay. Well, but why does he keep going on with RJ and Allie Clifton and Channing Frye? Yeah. And it seems like every time he goes on, he's very calculated, obviously premeditated, and he wanted to express himself on this issue. And I'm sure they were prepared for him to unload on this on their podcast. And I'm like, why are you doing it on theirs? You should make your own podcast, right?
He has Uninterrupted. He has the shop.
Why wouldn't you save this for the shop then?
The shop is going to be a minute before he starts shooting that again, or he's already put that in the can.
Well,
but here's the thing. Like you said he's the most intriguing athlete going today. So
it's every day it's something with LeBron.
So
we actually had 2 other LeBron stories from yesterday from the media session he did, and we are not able to get to them today because this one just transcended.
Right.
And we need to really look at this one hard a couple of times so we don't have room for LeBron talking about his whole goal is to play with his son or against his son in the NBA.
Oh, we also missed that one. We talked about the Clippers. We're talking that you know what.
Okay.
But we'll get to that one sooner or later.
It's every day. It's something with the king.
He's LeBron.
He is the most interesting man, not just in sports, in the history of sports. There's never been anything like this man for it, and it's not always premeditated. He just has a force field around him in which news just seems to ooze from his pores.
Correct.
It's something every day.
Correct.
Okay, so help me out here.
Okay.
This man just won a championship.
Yes.
This man, you say, is the GOAT, even beyond Michael Jeffrey Jordan in Chicago.
Yes.
And yet here he is 2 months later, and this pushed the deepest button in him. This hit the deepest nerve in LeBron James because he is bearing his soul about this. He is unloading as we approach a new season. And it's 2 months after the fact. And he's going on and on about how even during the finals, it shook him up so much that he requested during the finals that somebody who works with or for him had to go get the transcript of this just so he wanted to read it.
He wanted to make sure that they didn't take snippets, you know what I'm saying, Skip? Because sometimes you just splice it and you just take this. So let me get the transcript so I can actually hear what was said, how it was said, and how the subject was broached. So now, Skip, I got everything. I can just look at it like, oh, you said, so you did say that. It wasn't cut and splice and...
Okay. All right. So he carefully went over this.
Yes, he did.
He digested it. and now he is regurgitating all of it.
Yes.
To what end? I don't know. What is the point? Because who cares what Kyrie Irving says? They're not teammates anymore, and Kyrie made it crystal clear when he walked out the door on LeBron in Cleveland, he did not want to play with LeBron anymore. So you gush on and on about how much you love this kid, and you wanted him, which is just baloney. He said, I always wanted to see him be the MVP of our league. Not when he was playing with LeBron did he want to see Kyrie be the MVP.
Skip.
I'm sorry. Stop it. I call BS
You
on
do
that.
know the last year, Kyrie took more shots than LeBron, right?
Okay, that's fine. But the point was, there's no way he wanted him to be the MVP or that he loved him like a little brother. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
So you got a problem with LeBron bringing that up. But I noticed, you know what, Skip? You had no problem when Michael Jordan brought his high school coach and ridiculed him that you cut him. He brought the guy that made the team over him 25 years later. He brought him out there and embarrassed him. He brought
What does that have to do with this?
But my